I'm a cynic, and I'm here to insult your intelligence. I enjoy chick flicks. I wouldn't go so far as to say I like them, but I enjoy them. Whether it be romantic comedy, musical, or drama, I enjoy them. I'm not sure why, but I do. And one of my all-time favorites is My Best Friend's Wedding. Oh, if only that was the movie we were reviewing today. Today, we will be reviewing Maid of Honor. The movie begins off in college where we meet our two main characters, Tom and Hannah. Tom is a pretentious asshole who makes it his mission in life to sleep with every woman he comes in contact with.
So gross.
And Hannah's the only girl in her dorm who doesn't want to sleep with Dr. Shepard from Grey's Anatomy. I can respect that. We cut to 10 years later and Tom is still whoring himself out all over New York State. We see Hannah is doing just about the same to Renaissance art. Tom and Hannah attend a wedding where we find out that the groom is...
Now the party starts. My son is here.
Daddy, get married in 10 minutes.
Tom's father? How many times has this guy been married?
6.
Who's the bride?
If you need any money, or you need any advice,
Right.
or you got girl problems, I don't know. I need you to think of me how you would a real mother.
We get it, movie. It's awkward. So Hannah takes a trip to Scotland for 6 weeks, and we see just how miserable Tom is without her. The thing is, in a normal movie, we would have established some sort of likable traits about him by this point. What are his hopes and dreams? What are some of his greatest regrets? Or even fears? These are things that help us to relate to characters. And he has none. The closest we have gotten is his father has a lower opinion of women than he does, and he likes to say I love you to dogs.
Look at you. Hello there. Hello there. Aren't you beautiful?
Oh, I love you. Yes, I do. I love you. And you're so pretty. Yes, you are. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. Yes, you're beautiful. Look at that face. Love you. Love you, love you, love you. Oh, this is disturbing.
So as the weeks come to a close, we see that Tom is getting steadily more and more depressed and lonely. Later, while playing basketball with some of his friends, wow, who knew he had those? Tom bears his feelings in one of the most awkward ways possible.
What's the matter with you today? I think I might have feelings for Hannah.
This was the final clue I needed to see that the writers of this schlock had no idea how men speak to one another. I mean, if a guy's going to bear his feelings to his bros, he's not just gonna blurt it out. No, that would be awkward.
I don't understand.
I'm not following.
If something like this were to happen, it would happen over a couple of drinks, not a ball game. So our courageous hero goes to meet Hannah and... what's this? She's on the arm of some handsome new stranger. First funny scene of the movie. And we're 30 minutes in. We are then treated to an overly awkward scene as Hannah and her new lover Colin begin to tell Tom about how they met.
He shows me to this charming little inn where he proceeds to buy me the most awful dinner I have ever had in my life.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, even by Scottish standards.
You know, if Scottish people didn't like the way their food tasted, they wouldn't cook it that way. And to add to the awkwardness, we find out that Hannah and Colin, after only knowing each other for a little over a month, have decided to get married in 2 weeks. Twilight had more time to develop the love story. And to top the whole thing off, Hannah goes on to ask Tom,
Will you be my maid of honor?
No. No.
You're maid of honor.
Second good joke! We're on a roll, ladies and gentlemen!
What is it with you, man? I didn't. What are you? Excuse me? Excuse me?
After some advice from his token black friend, Tom decides to be Hannah's maid of honor so he can try and steal her from the wedding. He's so caring and relatable. Ooh. But who cares? It's time to meet the bridesmaids! just when you thought it couldn't possibly get any more awkward, Tom used to date the bitchy blonde.
Could someone please pass me the Splenda? Could someone who's not a misogynist pass the Splenda? What's your dress size, maid of honor?
I don't know. What's your jock size, Melissa?
Okay, guys, it's enough, it's enough!
Stay with me now. Later that day, Melissa gives Tom the address for the entertainment for Hannah's bridal shower. There's no possible way this could turn out badly. A little while later, Tom takes Colin out for a nice, friendly game of basketball.
I'm open. Here we go. Get a hold on to the ball, man. Get a hold on to the ball.
Now you want to start again because you didn't get that. Do that. Nice.
I like it. Come on.
Hey, I look good, don't I? Get in the ball. You know what I'm learning? This guy's a chump.
And you thought I was kidding when I said this guy was an asshole. But Tom gets a taste of his own medicine when Colin begins to dunk the ball. Am I really supposed to feel sorry for Tom right now? Because to be honest, I don't. Things begin to get weird in the locker room as Tom and his friends realize that Colin is hung like a horse. Avert your eyes, you Philistines. Don't you know there are laws regarding men's locker rooms?
My boy's got mad cow disease.
Later that night...
You put Bayberry with Serenity.
You know, like?
No, it's interesting. I just thought it was obvious that Bayberry worked best with Harmony.
Really? I've been putting Bayberry with Tahitian Sunrise. Ooh.
Yeah, it could be worse. I could be watching the Phantom Menace or the Twilight or Cutthroat Island. The next day at the bridal shower...
Now, these pleasure aids are best used when in a tantric meditative state. And today, I'm going to show you ladies how to reach your optimal sacral chakra.
Are we disturbed yet? No? What if Grandma Pearl gets in on the action?
Where do these go?
52 minutes through the movie and I've already been emotionally scarred beyond repair. Might I recommend the writers of this schlock change their occupation to acupuncturist, because I feel like I'm having a nail driven slowly into my skull. And now she's strapping them to her neck. How much longer is this movie? As you might have guessed, Hannah's a little bit more than pissed at Tom. And to be honest, I don't blame her. I can think of nothing he did before she left for Scotland that would make me think he was sincere right now with his apology. There are no attributes to this guy that make me think he would be a better husband for Hannah than Colin. I mean, one of Tom's friends looks for some dirt on Colin and he could find no skeletons in the guy's closet. Fellas, you know that not everybody has a criminal record, right? On top of that, the guy has 3 Guinness World Records. That could be anything from burping the most times in under a minute to being the first man to bench press a grizzly bear. Though seriously, that last one would be damn impressive. After a day of shopping, Hannah tells Tom that not only is she marrying Colin, a man she has only known for a little over a month, but she's also moving to Scotland. After that bombshell, Tom slips so far into depression that he seeks relationship advice from the one man who sucks at relationships even more than he does. His dad.
I'm getting another divorce.
Dad goes on to tell his son the most logical piece of information you've seen in this film.
Tell her the truth!
Tom arrives at Scotland just in time to participate in the Highlander games.
It's a tradition in honor of the wedding. Oh, it goes right back to the time when the groom had to prove that he was man enough to deserve the bride. If he didn't win, he didn't get the bride.
Tom seems to get it into his head that if he can make Colin lose the games, then he won't marry Hannah. Did he already forget that he came there to tell Hannah that he loved her?
Welcome one and all to the Highland Games.
We arrive at the games and a long list of Scottish stereotypes ensues. But don't worry, I've been taking careful count. Enjoy. Bad food.
The most awful dinner I have ever had in my life.
It was pretty bad, even by Scottish standards.
Kilts. Wait, what is Tom wearing? Dancing the jig. Wait, isn't that Irish? The tree tossing thing that... Okay, what the hell is this thing called? And finally, bagpipes. What, no sheep shagging competition? As expected, Tom loses the competition.
And the high elf guy is like, no! And the keeper elf guy's like, no!
We meet Colin's aunt at dinner that night, and we get much more to laugh at.
Robbie Burns was the bard of Alloway. The bard to all the land.
Oh.
You ken what yous bairns be named yet?
No, Auntie. We haven't had any bairns yet, so we haven't got any names. Bairns means children.
That weird Scottish accent that no one can understand.
Athol.
Excuse me?
It's a name for the children.
Athol.
Athol.
Little Athol.
You expect me to comment on that one?
My mother's third cousin was the Duke of Athol.
We're a long line of Athols.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
The day before the wedding, Hannah is rushed to the local pub to sell her kisses for change. And she's just loving the idea. Tom gets close to deposit a few pennies and... Oh God, how much longer in this movie? Hannah decides she wants an explanation for what happened earlier, and Tom decides to give her that explanation. Until...
I can't take it anymore.
What are you doing?
Let's do it again.
No.
For old time's sake.
Don't
no,
take that off.
Tom, I need to make this up to you.
Take this.
No. Listen, I have had some whiskey.
I can tell.
And I need you to service me.
Service you? Service you?
Service me, bitch!
Oh, my...
Service me!
But before Melissa can have her way with Tom, Hannah arrives. Tom chases her back to her room and tries to explain, but she won't hear any of it. Tom leaves the next morning because he can't stand the fact of giving Hannah away. But after a brief encounter with a dog, he decides to go back and get Hannah. What? That doesn't make any sense? Well, you remember that scene earlier when I said that he only says I love you to dogs? Well, that's why. Do I really care? No. Why? Goats! Tom arrives too late and he misses the ferry boat. But wait, horse! So Tom steals a horse. I can't say that. My words keep slurring. He steals a horse and rides to the church as Hannah is making her way down the aisle. But here's the kicker. Just as the preacher is asking if anyone has any reason why these two should not be joined, Tom crashes through the door.
Keep it up. Want to see blood?
Tom confesses his undying love for Hannah, to which she responds with...
Thomas Bailey, you are the worst maid of honor of all time.
So, what are you gonna say to Colin?
I'm so very truly sorry.
Where the hell is that plastic bag?
Colin, scalp on mollicating, tummels, wilkies, driddles groin, and game of doing.
What'd she say?
She said I should deck you.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
A miracle!
So Tom and Hannah are married, Melissa's on the arm of Tom's dad. Ew, gross. And Grandma Pearl is still wearing those glow-in-the-dark thunder beads around her neck. You know, I thought I'd be angrier. Or maybe I'm just so unbelievably livid that I've come full circle. This film is awful, even by the fairly low standards by which I judge chick flicks. The writing is poor, the execution is laughable, and the characters are just downright unlikable. And here's one of my biggest gripes with the movie. Hannah appears to be the ideal woman. She's kind, has good morals, and is a pretty intelligent woman. You know, aside from the fact that she's hanging around with Tom. Whereas Tom's an unlikable, womanizing jerk who has no hopes or even dreams for the things that he does. And I can count each one of those things on my hand. He sleeps with women, stands in lineups, orders food, plays basketball, hangs around with Hannah. And that's not just his weekends. That's his whole life. This film seems to be trying to be a romantic comedy. The only problem is, it failed on all counts. Look at the awkward white guy in the short shorts. It's funny! Look at Scotland. It's funny! Look at Grandma Pearl in the Thunderbeat necklace. Oh, now she's talking to the priest. It's funny! No, thank you! The only times I actually laughed at were the 2 times Tom bumped into that waiter. 1, 2! 2 funny moments! And why is Hannah marrying Colin, even though they've only known each other for a month? I mean, Edward and Bella had more time to develop their relationship than these two. Yeah, that's right, I said it! Edward and Bella, the worst couple of all time, actually had more time together than these two. The only reason to watch this
1 hour and 36 minutes and 48 seconds
long movie is to get to the moment at
1 hour and 34 minutes and 50 seconds.
I'm a cynic and people are stupid. Whereas Tom's an unlikable womanizing jerk who has no hopes or dreams or even motivations for the things that he does.